Hello, everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about Home Depot delivery. I did it for about 3 years. I would say it's not a bad job at all. If you like free time and everything, if you're tired of working 12 hours a day, um, I would say this job is for you. You basically just drop off people's orders, and sometimes you're done in 4 hours, which is really nice. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any videos of me doing the deliveries because at the time I just didn't record anything. So I am going to be using Farming Simulator gameplay, and with the I made the tractor trailer look very, very similar to the Home Depot trailer and forklift because they do have a mod for a Moffett and a flatbed. And the summertime is definitely the busiest when all the contractors are working on their projects. And in the wintertime, it's basically dead. So you're literally done like in 2 hours. Sometimes you don't even have any deliveries. The only real downside is having to drive a 45-foot tractor trailer into neighborhoods, especially dead end neighborhoods. I mean, I'm sure it definitely beats freaking driving 12, 14 hours a day nonstop. I mean, there's a company I used to work for. They put you in a hotel and everything, and you just chill in there literally almost all the time. You can do whatever. You can drive around the day cab like a car, so you're not having to use your own gas. There were some times where the houses were on the side of I guess, a state highway, and you couldn't pull in there, so you just had to park your tractor trailer on the side of the road and try to unload it with a Moffett. You know, those piggyback forklifts that are hanging on the back. Sometimes it would take you multiple trips of driving back and forth with, shingles and drywall, which is, I would say, the hardest thing to deliver with the forklifts and the Moffett is definitely drywall because it's fragile as hell, especially if it's really long because it flexes a lot when you're going up and down driveways. I would also say if you're really bad at dealing with customers, this is probably going to be difficult because sometimes you get customers that are absolute tool bags that'll yell at you and throw a big ass fit when you won't do everything that you want them to that you're not required to because you are under contract most of the time when you're doing this job and there's just things you're not allowed to do. And the store, because you don't work technically for Home Depot, it's under, different contracts and everything that you can only do certain things, but Home Depot likes to make promises to the customers that you can, and you just have to fight that. Now, if you don't have a Class A or Class B license, there is another Home Depot delivery side where it's a box truck that you literally just deliver appliances and things that you can drop off in a box truck. But it's honestly the worst one because you're having to bring in appliances into people's houses, and sometimes they even have you installing them for them. If you're by yourself, it's going to be very difficult because some of those appliances are heavy as hell and they want their washer and dryers in their basements. You have to drag them downstairs or upstairs if they're going upstairs. Even fridges, too, because you got to take down the whole fridge and take off all the doors. I even had this one store I delivered for that I had do the deliveries completely by myself with the appliances. No help at all. No one to, use those straps that go around the appliance that two people can lift it up and everything. So I had to use a dolly by myself because obviously the customers are not going to help you because if they get injured or anything, it's on your ass and they can sue the company. I would avoid the stores where they make you bring in the appliances, which is called a threshold, because it's a lot more liability and you're having to manually do everything. The curbside delivery only stores are the best one because you can just drop it off on their property and it's considered delivered. But most of the time, if it's something small, they're going to want it set in their garage. Almost all the time, you have to always ask permission to drive your Moffett forklift onto their property because if you cause any damage, you can get sued. So as long as you get like a waiver or something in writing from them, they really can't do anything because they gave you permission and it's in writing. So absolutely get everything in writing before you do anything. Because a Moffett forklift is about 4 to 5,000 pounds, so and the tires are huge and they will rip up the grass sometimes, especially if it's wet. And it will, if there's a septic tank underneath the grass that you didn't know about, it'll crush it. So you always have to ask where the septic tanks are to avoid them. Perfect example of this, I had it one time where I did get it in writing and everything from the customer, and him giving me permission to drive in his backyard. And luckily, since I had that waiver form that I made him sign, that whenever a septic tank that he didn't know about and I didn't know about was there, I guess it was an old one, my forklift back tire smashed into it and it got stuck. So I had to get a tow truck to help yank it out of there. I mean, it's not all that bad, especially when you're not working because you're still getting paid. Because it's by salary, so it's every day you're getting that pay regardless if there's deliveries or not. But it also means you're getting the same pay if there is a lot of deliveries, which honestly there rarely isn't, especially if you're in like a rural area. I did do this job for 3 years, so if you have any questions, I can tell you literally everything. I know how it all works. I did actually have a location where I didn't have a single delivery for 2 weeks straight, but I still got paid. So I'm telling you, it's a pretty sweet gig. Just depends if you get a really bad location like the ones in Vermont or New England in general, pretty rough.